Hey everybody, welcome back to another Classics Are Better. I'm Travis and today we are working on my 06 Silverado crew cab I call Max. It is a SilveradoMAX with the high output 6.0 and a 4L70 in it. So people call these MBS, new body style, or cat eye Silverados. I love this body style, so I want to keep this thing on the road. So it starts solving some of the leaks, specifically the oil cooler lines right now. Time to get after it. So there's going to be two different ways that you're going to be able to start this project depending on your truck setup, right? On mine, I have dual electric fans or an electric fan setup, so I don't have a shroud and all that kind of stuff right here. 1500 HD back here, it has a mechanical fan with upper and lower shroud. So while you do have access to your lines right here, it is a lot easier if you take your shrouds out in this case. Easiest way to show you guys this line and kind of what we're doing is going to be on the new one on the floor versus in the truck the whole time because there's just not enough space, right? So the new oil cooler line I got is a Dorman 625340. And this is basically what the line looks like outside the truck. So up here is where it connects into the radiator. Follow it down. This is where mine have failed right here and are leaking so bad. You keep going, there's a single bracket right here that's going to go, and then you kind of have your block fitting where they all go together. Well, I lucked out. I get to cheat just a little bit. Normally you have two skid plates right here. I don't have a front one, but if you do, you're just going to remove both of them. 15mm bolts, zip them down. Official shop dog brake. It's got my skid plate down on the ground. You can see just how nasty it is up here. So my transmission cooler lines are totally failing. The oil cooler lines right there where we're actually replacing, and then my power steering box is completely nasty too. I am replacing that hose, and then it turns out my main just horrendous oil leak down here besides the hoses is coming from right there. My main crank seal is just completely failed and just leaking down, so I'll have to address that and get some more parts, but getting closer to getting this thing right, y'all. See if I can zoom in on the bolt for you there. I'll try and circle it on the screen. But yeah, so that's the one that's holding that little hanger, and that bolt is a 13mm, and that equates to this little clip right there as it's on the side of the motor. So once you get the retaining clip undone, you're going to get your 10mm socket and get each of these bolts right here. Once you get that block loose, it will leak, so make sure you have an oil pan or something down here to catch your drips. Now that that's disconnected, next thing is going to be getting this old line physically out of there and getting the new one in. So you can either go out through the top or the bottom, whatever works best for you. Just note the routing of the original one and put the new one in the same spot. Okay guys, so one other fun little tip is if you're having trouble getting the lines in or out right here and you need a little bit more space, this is a 10mm bolt right here that you can back out and then remove this plastic clip holding these wires and drop them down a little bit just to get some clearance. For me, I ended up getting it out through the back, but now I have a huge mess to deal with, so I'm going to go ahead, get that all cleaned up and degreased really well, and then that way I'll have a fresh start to put in all my new lines. So now that I got that old line out and I got to start degreasing everything, it's a good segue into today's video sponsors. My friends over at SuperClean reached out and asked if they could help me out with one of my videos by sending me some goodies. And I was like, yes, you can. I got something in mind. So we're going to put this stuff to work. Luckily for me, I use SuperClean anyway. So this is basically just a restock. But yeah, guys, I use the floor absorbent all the time. As y'all picked up, I'm not super neat over here, so it's great. It's got a handle, absorbs everything. It's non-toxic, and then you just sweep it in a dustpan and throw it away. And I really dig the non-toxic part because I got 2 little kids and a dog, so one less poison out here is always great. We got their foam, which is good for cleaning up on stuff, so I'll probably use a lot of that since I got a lot of weird, you know, angles up there in the engine or whatnot. You got their wheel cleaner, which I use that on my Charger quite a bit. And then their classic, just overall degreaser, which we will be using a lot of that coming up here real quick. But yeah, guys, just want to give a big thank you to SuperClean for reaching out. Well, starting to rip through it here on this cross member. Who knew this was in such good shape? The oil has preserved it. Check it out, y'all. So some elbow grease and some SuperClean, and this thing is looking so much better than it was. Is it perfect? No, but I don't need it to be perfect on this old truck. I don't have that much time to spend cleaning on it. But yeah, I mean, here, take a look, a little flashback of what it looked like. Just completely horrendous. And now, less horrendous. I'd almost call it acceptable under there. So I think it's looking pretty good, y'all. All right, so it is finally time to get the new lines in. We're essentially just gonna be doing the reverse of the uninstall. So either fish them in through the top or the bottom, whatever worked best for you on your truck. And we'll start getting everything hooked up just like we unhooked it. Good news, y'all. So I got the new lines put in there. It was definitely a bit of a booger trying to wiggle it all through there. You just got to stay after it till it finally pops through. Quick tip is when you run the lines all the way through, don't let them hang down while you're securing everything else. They're so long, those metal lines, there's not enough room to sweep them up. So make sure when you come through, you go up towards the top of the radiator with the lines, like with the slack or whatnot. And then save yourself a headache of having to do the back bolts twice to get you enough wiggle room. But I got the 2 10mm bolts back in. I got the 13mm bolt for the retaining clip in. Got the skid plate back on. So now all I got to do is get this truck back on the ground and we'll get the top end reattached. Let's go. So another tip is when you get the that C-clip back on, everything will be perfectly flush, where you can just push this little cap right back over it without any resistance. If it's pushing out on you, or you can't just snap it off and on, that means your C-clip isn't secured good, and you need to push your line in a little bit more. So now that the lines are secured, I am going to top the oil off a little bit, let it run some, and then check the oil level again and add some if needed, look around for any leaks, stuff like that. But yeah, oil coolant lines, done. So anyway, guys, as always, if you got any good information from this, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me. I'm a little channel, so it totally helps me out. Same thing, I got a merch store. If you guys would like any cool classics or better merch, I got you covered. But yeah, my friends, as always, thank you guys for watching. Get out there, get wrenching, my friends. Until the next time, have a good one.